call on Tiananmen Square. And then a throng of patriotism marked the proud moment of the nation. Past leaders who stood atop that limousine to inspect the troops on National Day were reaffirmed as those who led the country into a new political era. Today, it was Hu Jintao who greeted the 8,000 soldiers he called comrades. "We serve the people," they replied. In a speech afterwards, Hu Jintao said on this day 6 decades ago, the people of China experienced more than a century of bloody struggle and finally achieved victory through revolution. It was here that Chairman Mao Zedong proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic, he said, and since then, the Chinese people would stand tall. Today, a socialist China geared to modernization, the world and the future has stood rock firm in the east of the world, Hu said. The people of China, he added, have the confidence and ability to strengthen the country and contribute to the rest of the world. The president also called on the party, the armed forces and people of all ethnic groups to unite and build a democratic, civilized, harmonious and modernized socialist country. China stages largest ever military parade today. It showed off a broad range of Chinese-made weapons, many of them seen by the rest of the world for the very first time. 80,000 flag-waving youths formed the characters faithfully safeguarding the party. A formation of Type 99 main battle tanks led the parade. They are equipped with 125mm guns capable of piercing through 850mm armor from 2,000 meters away. Displayed for the first time are these airborne core armoured fighting vehicles, which can be airdropped from a height of 3,000 metres. Also stealing the show were these unmanned reconnaissance aircraft, a relatively new addition to the People's Liberation Army arsenal. 108 cruise missiles poised on top of a convoy of vehicles were a show of the country's military advancement. The Dongfang 21C medium-range missiles have a range of 4,000 kilometers, capable of reaching most parts of Asia, and are regarded as the weapon against aircraft carriers. The Dongfang 31A intercontinental ballistic missiles can carry nuclear warheads and have a range of more than 10,000 kilometers, capable of reaching most parts of the world. In the skies, leading the flypast was a KJ-2000 airborne warning and control system aircraft, used last year in security control during the Beijing Olympics. Next came the H-6 bombers with an operating range of over 5,000 kilometers. The Chinese-made third-generation J-10 fighter jets are the trump cards of the PLA Air Force. There were also the J-11 fighters. China's first batch of women fighter pilots showed off their skills, flying the K-8 trainers to wrap up the spectacular show. All the weaponry displayed today are made in China, with almost 90% of them taking part in a military parade for the first time, marking a new era in China's military might.
About 100,000 troops and civilians took part in a colourful parade through the centre of Beijing. Nicole Sang has more.
It took months of practice amid tight security, and today, China's troops marched in 14 formations in perfect unison. Young men of the Army, Navy and Air Force saluted their leaders who looked on from the balcony of Tiananmen, the front gate of the Forbidden City. Zedong said women held up half the sky, and today the country's women soldiers certainly made that point. They made up the largest formation not just in this parade, but the biggest troop formation in the world. To drum in the point that size does matter, 1,949 youths marched down Chang'an Avenue with the largest flag to the accompaniment of a 4,000-strong orchestra and choir. 49 different slogans which flashed across Tiananmen Square were made up by 80,000 youngsters holding up coloured cards for hours. 36 formations of a variety of themes made their way through the heart of the capital. China's astronauts reminded the world of the country's achievements in space exploration. The first astronaut to do a spacewalk was in full gear. Top athletes reignited the pride of the success of last year's Beijing's Olympics. For the first time, different nationalities joined the parade, while the characters that read "Safeguard World Peace" swept across the square. Hong Kong was represented by a float with models of the IFC and the Convention and Exhibition Centre. The chief executive was poised to record the moment. 60,000 doves released over Tiananmen, followed by a cloud of balloons, symbolised China's aspiration for a peaceful and bright future. Nicole Sang, TVB News.
And the festivities continue in the capital tonight. A National Day evening gala and fireworks show will begin in Tiananmen Square at 8 p.m. The amount of fireworks to be discharged tonight will be double that used during the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics. And our reporter Mona Lam is standing by in Beijing. Mona, what's the atmosphere like?
Hi, Jenny. I'm at an intersection in the eastern side of Tiananmen Square right now, and this is one of the vantage points to see the fireworks tonight. It might be a little too dark for you to see, but there are already people lined up, along the street behind me right now, and police have to adopt crowd control measures already. And earlier today, I also talked to another crowd who are out to celebrate the National Day.
The moment that took everyone's breath away. At Beijing Railway Station, the some 1,000 pair of eyes were glued to the sky as fighter jets and helicopters flew past during this morning's parade. It was overwhelming to see so many aircraft at the same time, this spectator said. And sky, it's not the limit. Instead of rushing for trains, hundreds of passengers actually stayed at the Beijing Railway Station this morning, some with binoculars and cameras ready. That's because the station faces a big backstage area for performers near Chang'an Avenue, and this is probably the closest passengers can get to see the parade. Some of those visiting the city were impressed with the atmosphere.
I think it's great. I think it's fabulous for a country, people to come out like this and support.
But others were disappointed with the lack of action.
I'll probably see it on TV only.
And these few hundred people tried to get a last glimpse of the floats and weapons at the end of the parade. Some called themselves lucky that they managed to take a few shots of the vehicles before they returned to the suburbs.
Now, the fireworks display tonight will be divided into a few sessions and last 33 minutes in total. It's still unknown when the first session will actually take place, but authorities have already disclosed that the display will not be limited to the square only. Pyrotechnics will also be set up in semicircles around the square, as well as along the central axis of the capital city. That's all from me here in Beijing. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Mona. And here in Hong Kong, National Day celebrations began with a flag-raising ceremony at Golden Bauhinia Square in Wan Chai. This morning, in a speech, Acting Chief Executive Wong Yan Loong said he hopes Hong Kong will continue to serve as a model for the mainland to implement important reforms. It is a ceremony held every year on this day at Golden Bohemia Square. This time around, it was Secretary for Justice Wang Yanlong standing in for the Chief Executive. Donald Zheng and most of his senior staff are in Beijing, and the Financial Secretary is recovering in hospital from heart surgery. Hong Kong saluted the country from both the land, at sea, and in the air on the 60th anniversary of the People's Republic of China. In the crowd were a group of mainland visitors who also celebrated their 60th birthday this year. In a speech, the acting chief executive said Hong Kong provides a platform for China's integration with the rest of the world and as a model for the mainland to implement important reforms. Hong Kong, he said, should broaden its global perspective and international links and enhance its pool of talent characterized by a mix of East and West. And on the note of links with the rest of the world, he added that Hong Kong will rise to the challenge and make the East Asian Games to be held in December a resounding success.
National Day fireworks display over Victoria Harbour will be held as scheduled at 8 o'clock this evening. Emilung is in Tsim Sha Tsui, one of the vantage points to watch.
中央軍委主席胡錦濤，仲有上一代領導人江澤民、李鵬、朱鎔基。喺中央電視台嘅直播裏面，江澤民出現過至少22次，其中6次係同胡錦濤同時出現。時事評論員劉銳紹認為係反映咗江澤民仍然有相當嘅影響力。
胡錦濤喺唔少嘅場合裏邊呢，都將佢放喺第2位，僅次於胡錦濤，但係高於其他嘅政治局常委嘅。呢點呢就好明顯睇到江澤民喺一啲嘅地位上邊呢，仍然有佢哋嘅影響力，而胡錦濤呢，暫時唔能夠將佢放埋一邊嘅。
佢又話：胡錦濤亦都要借助江澤民嘅影響力，鞏固自己嘅領導地位。有線電視記者何永康報導。
其他新聞，支聯會趁住國慶發起遊行，爭取改善人權。咁部分示威者喺中聯辦門外同警方推撞。幾百人參與支聯會發起嘅遊行，攞住標語橫額，由中環遮打花園遊行去西區嘅中聯辦。部分示威者抬住一副棺材，被警員阻住行去中聯辦嘅門口。咁雙方發生推撞，其中一名示威者被警員帶上警車，咁其他嘅示威者不滿推撞警車，有2個人仲爬上警車嘅車頂抗議。
尋晚歐聯分組賽咧，車路士同埋曼聯都贏波。
冇錯，咁但係贏得最有霸氣。